All right, I'm warmed up. I'm having a good time. What's up, everybody? Been a little while since I've done a live stream. I think nearly 3 months, which is hard to believe. Who's in here? Mike gets it straight away. Mike knows. Mike knows, especially the pre-chorus. Gotta go for maximum Dogman with that one. And I'm assuming everybody can hear what I'm saying and what I'm doing because no one said no sound. So that's cool. It means I got the routing on my interface right the first time, which is pretty rare. What are we jamming through tonight? So this magnificent beast. This is the Charles Chillier, the Bella Aurora model. Can you see that on there? It says it on the little plate here, but yeah. Jean-Claude Transam has to be one of the best online usernames ever. Kind of reminds me of Counterparts Era Life, and thanks, bro. That's a very underrated era for Rush, and it will not surprise you that I like that album a lot. And I also like King's X, so yeah, stick it out, yeah. Yeah, man. Getty's bass sounds on those albums. I think, was he using the Sans amp by then? Because it's just so crushing. It's so good. So that's what I'm jamming on. And then the Octaver thing. I mean, I'll show you guys the Axe FX preset. How do I do that? Oh, yeah. I can share my screen. This is kind of magic. Let's do this. There it is. Cool. I'll drag this one in so everyone can have a quick squiz. Better add it to stage. Cool. All right. So this Rockman compressor is not on at the moment. So main amp is this guy, which is, from what I understand, was the initial model Fractal did of the 5153 Stealth Blue channel, and they put it out in a beta firmware, and I think there was a slight discrepancy between the model and the real amp, like a component value. And then everyone liked it so much that they added it as a custom FAS model. So that's what I'm using. In the preamp, there's a little bit of a boost. So if I turn all this stuff off, chord tone is my free IR. I've got the high cut at 6500 hertz, low cut at 80. Free cab, linked in the video description. I heard someone describe this as the Fractal backline cab. I'll take it. So without the boost, and I'll mute my mic so you can just hear guitar. And then I'll kick the boost in, then I'll add the reverb, then I'll add the pitch detune for the stereo width. That's what's going on there. That's the core sounds you heard. And that's the Octaver. It's actually a ring modulator set up to track the pitch into an envelope filter. It's pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. I love that a lot. The filth. Exactly. Hey, Wiz, what's up, man? Long time no chat. Stanky is the term, because it certainly gives you that. So we're talking about Getty's counterparts tone. The Trace Elliott. Oh, man. Ryan's been using... Ryan is the singer-bass player in Ragdoll. So you just heard him screaming and playing bass over that track. He's been using the Little Sans amp. I think the first ever tour of the States we did in 2012. He was like, this is my rig. And I was like, you're mad. And a couple of years later, I was on the Fractal stuff. So, yeah, definitely a trailblazer. But he had a Trace Elliott combo for doing local gigs for a long time. And I always liked the way that sounded. So happy to have a new episode of the Gear podcast on my commute home today. Cheers from the Chicago area. That's sick. Man, Chicago, it wasn't a super planned thing. Well, it was kind of planned, but I technically spent my honeymoon in Chicago and I loved it. Great city. Hey, Jace, what's up, man? How are you? I ran into a couple of your mates when we just played in Melbourne over the weekend. So I think one of them might have sent a photo of us to you. You'll notice that Alta isn't in the rack at the moment. It's because Troy's going to borrow it and make some noise with it. So I was like, mate, you need to try this thing, because we took the head around to his. I still think that's one of the loudest things I've ever experienced. I took the Alta 100 around to the studio when I had it here, and we just blitzed it all the way up to 10 in the room, put big earmuffs on and just felt the chungus. It was so good. It's so easy to play guitar at high volume. That's the one thing I got out of that. So yeah, if people are watching this and they're not subscribed to the Head First Ants channel, they should be. Oh, actually, Jace, if you're still there, would you recommend any mods to a Marshall DSL 50? Because one of my students has one, and he's an electronics engineer whiz. Yeah, I think he's 19 or 20. He's at uni, so he's well experienced with not electrocuting himself. If you got any hot tips, or maybe I'll just tell him to email. Watching while cutting up the credit card. I know the feeling. Here we go. This is cool. Richard K. I'm a new guitarist coming from the world of marching, percussion, piano, and tinkering in DAWs. I'm chasing tones with a cheap guitar NAM and the Marshall 1960 TV cab. That's sick, dude. There should be a couple of my NAM things up online. I definitely want to do some more, especially because I've got this thing. I blew a fuse on it, and it's one of those things where you got to open up the whole amp. So aforementioned student did that for me while I was away, and dude, it's so good. So good. So yeah, there's a couple of fun things. The Bad Cat I just did a demo with. That is very, very fun as well. The second channel I think is based on the Lynx, which is cool. So yeah, anyway, Richard, that's awesome, bro. There's so many cool... If you haven't seen it already, Plague Scythe Studios has a video on basically how to make music with free VSTs on his channel from a couple of years ago, but it's all like free guitar plugins and effects and mixing, mastering. So yeah, pretty cool. DSL 100 mod. Bro, I haven't seen this, so I'm going to go and watch that, and I will send it over to them. Hope Troy has fun with it. Sorry I couldn't make your gig. We had a gig on the same night. Mate, it's the curse. You start playing in a band, and suddenly you see no other bands ever. But are you still using the Alta Pre and VP4 or Alta and Axifex? The picture you sent me a little while ago was pretty sick. So what's the importance of a proper DI tone going into these tools? Pretty important. If you have a look at, there's been a lot of discourse the last year or two about your setting up your interface and the correct input gain levels into NAM. So I would say if you have a hunt around some of the forums and read up about that, I know someone made a chart of like, hey, if this is your interface, put the knob here, set the input gain to this, and that will properly gain stage it, which is cool. So love your style and standard tuning brings out your love of double stops. Thanks, mate. I played a lot of acoustic guitar as a kid, so trying to make that sound big. I'll grab a guitar in standard. I have one right here. So yeah, and if anyone was at the Sydney guitar show, they would have seen my face with this guitar, kind of like, I wasn't there, but I was on a big poster overlooking the Head First amps. So, Jace, this is the God tier rig. I was saying to Troy, we've got a Whitesnake tribute show coming up soon. I think that's the rig I'm going to use, is P1 and Fractal and, best of both worlds it. All right, we'll get the telly out and I'll because Telecasters make you do Telecaster things, I feel like this would be a cool in. Let me... I mean, that sounds... This bridge pickup is... Oh, that was in parallel. That's serious. Yeah, Fender accidentally made an absolute like hair metal beast with this thing. It's pretty great. Yeah, that Nuno riff it's the spank he gets out of it is something else. So Darth Death Metal, AM4 single best guitar purchase I've made in the past few years. My pleasure, mate. It is such a great piece of gear. I was just doing some touring with mine, so yeah, I've got a show on Sunday actually. I'll take it out for, and it's just, as you said, it's got no business being that powerful. It's so incredible. So incredible. I hate to do the pickup argument too thing. I just don't have a good idea of what a decent DI tone is, how far off my cheap GFS rails are from that. GFS do good stuff, bro. So I think the golden rule is, you know, I don't know if it's an apocryphal quote or not, but it's attributed to Eddie Van Halen. It's like, if it sounds good, it is good. So yeah, I would read up a little bit about the gain staging stuff. And you know, I'm sure you're in the ballpark, right? Sure, you're in the ballpark. Rip some obscure Rush riffs. Hang on. There it is. Oh man, how does that? And then it goes up. There. Man, it's a funny song, Circumstances, but it really sticks out on that album. I remember hearing it for the first time. It's Getty's bass sound again on it makes it for me. So, yeah. F sharp hemispheres, yeah, that's right. Where would I be without you, John Claude Trans Am? You're making all of this come back. What other Rush isms? I mean, not obscure, but you know, you gotta. That with, let me put on, there's a flanger in the axe, which is, I'm pretty sure, called Spirit of Flanger or something like that. The Spirit Flange. Let's hear it. Maybe if I put that on after the amp, it will... Yeah. Whoops. That sounds cool. That sounds really, really cool. We've got a super chat. Thank you, Who's Your Rock. I'm going to get to some other questions in here. Did someone say Sean Lane? request riffing on some Sean Lane. Oh man, all right, I'm going to embarrass myself. That's primarily why I'm here, right? I need something a lot smoother. But let's bring in this comment here, just while I'm reading it. That sounds nothing like Sean Lane. It's but because Sean was too good. So, how do you get a volume boost for solos live? So, using the fractal, it's really easy to control because normally what happens if using a traditional rig and the sound guy turns your solo up, it's kind of like the start of the solo starts and you can't hear it, and then normally it's turned up to the right place by the end, and then it's too loud when the rhythm guitar comes back in. So, what I do is in the fractal, let me drag it in. I'll show you how I do it. There's, as usual with these things, many different ways to do it. So we can add this to the stage, and basically what I have is in the scene levels at the end, this one, my lead scene 2. So I just control it here, normally 3 to 4 dBs. So I'll go back to the main live preset. So my rhythm sound, and then lead. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, you can use, what I used to do with my old rig was an EQ pedal in the loop and slightly turn the mids up and slightly turn the level up. That used to work nicely as well. So yeah, that's what I do live. And it takes out one extra thing for the person running sound to do and for them to remember. Again, it's just that extra layer of automation. So I appreciate the super as well, Who's You Rock. Thank you. Let's see, I bought my fractals from watching your videos. You got me excited to play. Man, I play so much more because that magic box is so easy to plug into. Like, I can plug in and just have that sound any time of the day, as loud or as quiet as I like. So yeah, it's pretty rad. Brad, what's up, bro? Speaking of people's channels you should subscribe to, go do it. Especially if you like the amp tech thing. Man, I appreciate what you do, bro. It's pretty awesome. And also, I feel so many of those videos where you're just like, here we go. Being obsessed with Wes Hodge. Yeah, man, Wes is, my God, what a player. Just what a dude. And yeah, if anyone's into the heavy stuff and you haven't heard Alluvial, what are you doing with your life? Go do it right now. Uncle Leon sent you. Wadey, what's up, bro? Whoa. Turok Studio Overdrive head, my lord. That's, congrats, man. I'm very happy for you. That is going to be a bit of a tone journey. You can hook those things up in so many different ways. So yeah, that's a rig, bro. That's a rig. I approve. Mark, considering what you do, you're totally seriously. Thanks, mate. Way too kind. Thank you. Can't put my finger on it. I was thinking of early unreleased Ragdoll when listening to Changes by Yes. All right. Well, it won't surprise you to know that I was I still listen to a lot of Yes, especially the early stuff. But I'm trying to think of what song it might have been that we were playing. You know, we had that old song, The Feeling. Oh, God. And then, man, what was that? I should play that. That's very, very funny. I've forgotten about so many of those tunes. Let's see. Do I have it on my computer? It was so long ago. I might just catch up with the comments. Ah, yeah, dude. Aha. Mind meld. All right, I'll play this for all of you. So, man, I also know the feeling as well, where it's how many pieces of shit can I roast in a day? And after a while, you're like, oh, I'm starting to kind of feel not too great. So, yeah, dude, there's nothing worse than doing it just because. I think something I realized recently, I was talking to my wife because she does a lot of cosplay. It's her main hobby. And I'm always like, oh, well, you could film this and monetize that. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to hate it. So I realize all of my hobbies I have just monetized. And sometimes that kind of sucks. And what I mean by monetize is, you do the YouTube channel or you turn it into a hustle of some variety. Sometimes it's just nice to have a hobby. Cool symmetrical run is 9, 12, 15. The diminished thing and tapping 19 across all the strings. Yeah. Ooh. So. Yeah. Yeah. What would be cool with that would be you like cycle up and back. So. And then string skip. Give me the turn. Hey, Brad gets it. All right, Daft Death Metal, thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro. And time to put the toddler to bed later. Enjoy, mate. I appreciate you checking in. Yeah, this is it. This is what it's all about. It's why we like amps and guitars and fun stuff. Yeah, what did happen to the Sabotage reunion? I think the shows meant to be in May or something like that. So, yeah. I hope it's still happening. I haven't checked in about it, but... Ooh, here we go. FM3, AM4, XFX2, or AX8, once I have the experience and money down the road. AM4 is probably... it's the newest things, of course, AM4, but I would say definitely get a newer gen unit just because, the amp modeling's always been good, but I feel like they're a lot faster to dial in. The AM4 gives you fewer options, and that is good because you have to commit to things, in my opinion. So, yeah, that would be my advice there. And we've got someone else from Chicago. G'day, Greg. How are you, mate? All right, I'm going to play this for Joel. And I just need to find it first. I might have to stream it from YouTube. So this is, I want to say maybe like the second Ragdoll song we ever recorded. And re-recorded and then remastered in 2014. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, Ryan's vocals on this are just... It's something else. All right, I'm going to crank it and I need to tune down. What I'm going to do is I'll use the magic virtual capo to tune down. So let's do that. We'll go down one semitone. And this one's... Yeah, no drop tuning at all on this one. So... do we have the preset? Let's do this. Make sure that it's... Cool. All right. This is... we're getting into some deep Ragdoll lore now. This one's for Joel.
Light shines upon my face. Sing a prayer for the human race. Revolution starts and has no end. No, it never
I am so surprised I remembered most of that. That is very, very, maybe reassuring is the right word. Man. It's almost like you wrote that solo or something. Yeah. Man, there's one fill in there I always forget. Let's see. It should be... That's the bit that I'm amazed I remembered. I was like, there's something. Muscle memory, come back to me. And then... I think it's that. So... Man, that's... Yeah, it's just a different vibe, right? Kind of like the foot to the floor. It's much more... I think it's much more of like a straight up 80s prog hair metal crossover. Lots of this. It's cool to know that someone likes the early stuff as well, because I certainly do. It's just hilarious that, I mean, how the world has changed since 2011, 2012, where we were doing that and people were like, oh, sounds 80s. Why would you want to do that? And now people are like, yeah, the 80s, the best era ever, right? So I'm just going to say that we were ahead of our time. Hopped on again, what was that song? So this band, my band, Ragdoll, it's an older one of our songs called The Feeling. So, and then there's that string skippery thing. Played with hybrid picking. Kind of a Brett Garsed. The second verse I used to love as well because it's so easy for me. And the old... Just that. Keep repeating the same little thing on there. Oh, 3-gun photographer. Razor Dave, yeah, bro. So, anyone who doesn't know, Dave's channel's great. He's got a lot of amazing videos, and we toured with his band Black Torah in the States a bunch of years. They're like the best live 3-piece I've ever seen. I'll just put that right out there. Black Torah just destroy. Some of the best live guitar playing I've ever seen. I've been standing like 2 meters away from Dave just going. He's got the like Paul Gilbert meets Steve Morse meets Guthrie thing going on. He's such an awesome player. I miss that guy, man. Like every now and then I'll shoot him a message and we'll interact. But yeah, like Dave is genuinely... I feel like as a player, once you go from like music you listened to growing up, and then, I don't know, for me, it was about like school bands, and then my mates at uni, and then I met Cam, and we started jamming together. You sort of have those influences, but when you start playing with your band and playing on lineups with other bands, and you get to watch other players, you're like, oh, wow, stuff that I didn't know. And yeah, the first year we went to the States, watching Black Torah, I was like, oh my God, this is another level. I didn't know people could be this good. So it was super inspiring for me. Like Dave made me not only want to practice as a player, but Black Torah made us as a band want to do better. So yeah, that's It's so awesome. So awesome. Say hi to him next time you have a chat to him. So I use Slip Slip, which you tabbed out for me and I recorded as my ringtone to this day. Bro. We have a live recording of that. Here's some more old ragdoll for you guys. I will dig this up and I will try to play it. Wow. This was basically us doing a lynch mob song. Let's see. Is it on? Yeah. Here we go. This was live in 2010. Showing my vintage now. Let's try it.
All right! How y'all doing tonight?
That was almost all there. I always forgot the verse. I'll turn the virtual capo off. Oh man, yeah, that was That was a moment in time. Far out. Just straight up lynch mob, you know. Even the little lead. Something like that anyway. And then all the... Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's the Ragdoll early days live. Wow, that's the vibe. Yeah, totally. That was a hair metal era. Brother, what's up? Blues legend Stephen Hawke is here, ladies and gentlemen. Go and subscribe to his channel. Watch the live at the Gov video and yeah, do what I do, which is want to pack my guitars away after hearing that. So how hard is it to write a song without sounding just like your influences? I mean, look, just write the song, then write another dozen and keep writing until, and it's like a filtration process. You'll sound 95% like your influences for the first song. By song 100, you'll sound 95% like yourself. So, yes, that's exactly it. I think I've slightly learned how to play guitar less bad. Yeah. When my dad showed VH1 when I was 12, that was game over for me, man. That's it. That's it, dude. Yeah, it's just how it is. We're just collecting all the absolute monsters. Yeah, Troy is an amazing player. We joke that we look like we're related. You know, he could be my little bro. So, and I think we own a couple of the same guitars. So yeah, Troy's great, and his channel's amazing. Great teacher, quality dude. Cannot say enough things. Yeah, just stuff where you're just like, and you can play that. Oh, and you can play that, and you can do that. So, yeah, I mean, man, I have above average friends. That's what I always like to say. So, yeah, next time you see him, say get A for me, because yeah, that dude can play. I think same thing. He was going to try and come out to the Ragdoll show, and he also had a gig. So, and hey, this is a really, really good point. Think about how often your biggest influences sound like their influences. That's a really good tip. Like if you love, let's say you love Metallica, they're your favorite band. Go and listen to Sabbath and try write a Sabbath song, and it might come out sounding like a parallel universe Metallica. So, dude, I'm new to Fractal. You visited the best. Thank you. Welcome to the madness. Does the cherry tone feedback quicker than your Marshall? Not really. It does have a girth control, which controls the negative feedback, but that's a different thing. So, yeah, man. I think just loudness. Feedback is often very dependent on how loud you are and your guitar pickups. So, this is cool. Look at all these. Great name. GH100, great amp, man. Yeah, very, very cool. I ended up selling mine to one of my students who wanted a gigging amp, and I was like, you know, I paid a few $100 for this. You know, have it for what I paid for. So yeah, hopefully he's making good use of it. Yes, the Marshall is back, Jace. Thanks for your help. For anyone who doesn't know, I was trying to remember what I was filming a video with. I think it was the Jam pedals video that I did where I had 5 of their different boost pedals and fuzzers. So I had this thing running into the load box and made the mistake of just, you know, probably playing guitar for 30 minutes straight with this thing on 10 into the load. And luckily for me, it blew a fuse. But the thing is, you've got to remove the chassis to get to the fuse. There's no instant access to it. So while I was in Adelaide, I was over there for 5 weeks playing a Fringe show. I left it with one of my guitar students who's also pretty nifty with electronics. And yeah, they pulled it apart and they were like, yeah, really easy. Change the fuse. Here you go. Any repetitive strain injuries from playing for 20 plus years? Plenty. Less the hands, more the rest of the body. So, yeah, sitting in a chair. I mean, I made a conscious effort to not rest my guitar on my right leg because I was getting a lot of issues with my hip flexors. But yeah, most of the stuff I feel like is shoulder and back, and reminding myself not to sit here like an absolute shrimp. So yeah, that stuff is more so than the hands. I've been really, really fortunate. I think when I was in high school, I had a little bit of cubital tunnel syndrome. And if I play really thin necks, like the Ibanez Wizard style neck too much, I think because you inevitably end up gripping with that, I do get a little bit of first finger stuff. But yeah, pretty cool. What humbucker would you recommend for 80s stuff on the hotter side? I got a Jackson Adrian Smith. Cool guitars. I mean, default is JB. Like, that will just do the thing and always sound pretty good, especially in a super strat style thing. I really like the Duncan 78. Let me grab, because someone's going to ask about this guitar. So I'm going to preempt. Where is the Explorer, or the Standard as it is, because it's a Hamer. So I've got a special stand for it so I can mount it on the wall in full lightning bolt position. But this has a Duncan 78 in the bridge, and I think it sounds phenomenal. What tuning are we in on this thing? There we go. Standard from the seams of it. I have not played this thing for like 6 weeks, and well, the D string's really out of tune. But what else is new? There we go, there we go. So yeah, the 78, I think. Do I have a guitar with a JB handy? Yes, I do. I've got one in my PRS. So the 78. Oh, this guitar. Look, the JB to me is, it's the thing of like, I want an amp that sounds like rock music. Get a Marshall. Just get a Marshall first. And then if you don't love it, then you start getting into all the different variations. With humbuckers, it's like, I think I want an aftermarket humbucker. Get a JB. It will either be the perfect pickup for you, or you'd be like, oh, it's a bit too hot and mid-rangey. Then you can go to some other stuff. The Duncan Custom 5 I love. Damasio Tone Zone if you really want the 80s Paul Gilbert thing. Because yeah, that's pretty cool. But I feel like the JB is just such a safe bet. And you can go on Marketplace and Gumtree and pick them up for like $60 or $70. So Seymour Duncan just dropped a new Slash set. Yes. Yeah, the Alnico 2s are cool. But yeah, I feel like JB, it's just a great default thing. Man, this guitar's a beast. Ha! Really tiny little frets, but it feels great. The super distortion thing I personally don't love as much as I feel like the JB is just such a good generic rock pickup. The super distortion is awesome, but it's way more stylized. It has a bit of that. I sound like such a wanker, but yeah, the Damasio mids are a thing, and it can be super cool. Like if you wanted to do the 80s Iron Maiden thing or something like that, super distortion is a pickup. Late 70s, early 80s stuff, but yeah, there's so many. They did make the 78 a production model. It's really good. It's a little more hit and miss, I think. On the budget side of things, Tone Rider do a Van Halen, like a JB 78 style thing that they call the Panama, which is really good and not much money. So any tips for developing a faster picking hand? Been chasing the Zach Wild for 20 years. Bro, look, here's the thing. The stuff Zach does is fundamentally different to like the 3-note per string Paul Gilberty stuff. I don't know if it's because I clicked with the Paul Gilbert stuff and didn't practice the Zach stuff enough, or if I'm just lazy, but I still find the 2-note per string thing really difficult versus the 3-note per string. But yeah, intense rock, Paul Gilbert, intense rock, lick 1. You'll probably also find that a lot of the picking stuff doesn't really come down to being able to pick. It's the left hand. That kind of thing. Whereas you like... That's a slightly different mechanic. I would recommend reading up a little bit about the downward pick slanting stuff. I did a video as well talking about one thing I practice is like it's a gypsy jazz inspired floating pick hand, and you can see Zach when he plays, he has his like his hands, you know, however he does it. So a good example is the No More Tears solo, which I'll embarrass myself and try that. At the end, you know, that thing that he does, that's all economy picking. And it's like the Marty Friedman Tornado of Souls lick. Oi, bit slot. Where it's like... So really getting that extreme. So that's something I changed about my playing in maybe the last 5 years that has helped a lot. I should play the solo for the Ragdoll song Letting Go because it uses some of that stuff. And I have a backing track for it. So yeah, this guitar rules. I forget. It's like playing a coffee table, but my God, it's very satisfying. Okay. Let's do, I have a shortened backing track for Letting Go that I can blast for all of you. So yeah, look, Intense Rock 1 is just the best. Watch that VHS, learn the first 3 licks, and that's about as much advice as I can give. Let's see. It's gonna work? No. Where on earth is it? Letting Go Karaoke. That's the one. Here we go. I've left my mic on so you can hear all that. Bit sloppy at the end. That should be... something like that. I also found working on my rhythm playing, like the thrashy... Yeah, there you go. It is like playing a coffee table. It's a big boy. It's not a 4-digit. It's a 2008. Yeah, I bought it new in 2000. Maybe it's 2007. No, I bought it new in 2009 from Jackson's Rare Guitars because I think it was a thing where in like 2008 the Aussie dollar was really good, and then 2009 it wasn't so good. So I paid way under what I should have for it. It's a deal of a lifetime. Mark Harrington. Yeah, Mark, flick me an email. I can definitely help you out. Who's your favorite band and guitar player? I mean, lots. Depends on the time of day. But I always like to say King's X. You know, King's X, Ty Tabor. I can listen to Ty all day. Tomorrow it might be Rush and Alex Lifeson. The next day it might be Paul Gilbert and Racer X. And the next day it might be, I don't know, Led Zeppelin. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of stuff. So what was I going to say with the picking thing? Yeah, I remember recording that solo and struggling with it. Many, many takes, but then having that little revelation of learning the Tornado Soul solo properly with the picking. And it's like that, you know, I can just kind of, I don't really need to be in position to do it. Also, using a wah helps heaps with that kind of stuff. I deleted the wah from this preset. What a bozo. Let's do this. Here you go. This helps. Also, that Gary Moore End of the World lick I've found very... Yeah, it's actually pretty fun with the string noise. It definitely adds... Hey, Sad Wings Raging, this is for you, my bro. Heavy hollow body is life. It certainly is. Man, Charles makes good stuff. This thing is a treat, an absolute treat to play. I'm just catching up on the comments now. Yeah, dude. Ty and Lifeson are very similar. Exactly. There's a common thread running through that. And then it ends up in an absolute biological dead end at my playing. Last few wah pedals I've tried have been a blanket on my rig. Your wah of choice. I use the fractal wahs now. I love them because you can fine tune them and they sound amazing and they're quiet. But I was using the Buddha Boudoir for a long time. I love that one. And the Petrucci wah and the Cantrell wah are really good ones as well. Yeah, that's I always try to think like what's a band? You know, I love Sabotage and Testament and all that kind of stuff. So, and we're speaking of which. Oh. Also, yeah, now my favorite band is Sabotage. So, I haven't heard that. Thank you for the recommendation, John Claude Transam. What age did I start playing? Seriously, when I was 14, I think just after my 14th birthday, I was like, I'm going to play guitar. I want to be in Thin Lizzy. But there are videos of me when I'm like 3, walking around with a guitar. So I was indoctrinated from a young age. The vocoder. The Axe Effects does have a vocoder, but I need a mic hooked up to it. Yeah. Well, that for the next one, maybe. If you want to check out Sick License thing, top 3 album, yeah, bro. I always forget the verse rhythm for Mountain King. I'm gonna cheat and look at the tab. But yeah, isn't it funny? Love Sabotage so much. Didn't realize Chris did a lot of stuff in Drop C. Ended up myself writing a lot of stuff in Drop C and being like, maybe I should go and learn some Sabotage. Oh, it's kind of low. Oh my god, it's Drop C. So yeah, talk about a trailblazer. Where are we? So that's right, it's so simple. Yeah. Yeah. And then what was it? Yeah, there's such a... Everyone should go and listen to Hall of the Mountain King. That can be your homework today. Oh, yes. He loves it, trying us into not hanging up in his wife's living room for his own health. Yeah. Pick your battles, bro. Hey, Noise Bloom, what's up, man? How's life? I'm well. It's nice to hear from you. Let's hear some Rockman X100 shred. I got a kind of Rockman-y preset in here, which I did. Let me see. Yes, here we go. Does this have the... Actually, Fractal just added a Rockman chorus, which is pretty cool. I'm going to try it out. Let's put it on. There it is. Sick. My oldest influence probably goes back to the 30s, man, because I like a bunch of the... A lot of the gypsy jazz stuff from that era, but if we're talking electric guitar, definitely 60s stuff, man. The Hendrix and Clapton and Kossoff, Blackmore, all that kind of stuff. What was I going to do? That's right. Let's do this. I want this guitar. Well, we're talking 80s. The other chillier, the shred machine. What keys Pour Some Sugar On? We used to play that, I should know. What's up, bro? How's life, Brett? Okay, who's your rock? We're friends. Yeah, Frank is great. Frank is the man. I've stolen a lot of Frank licks over the years. Like, yeah, that. What's the song? Ain't Dead Yet? Man, that's a baller tune. Yeah. That. Joel, you have absolutely scraped the barrel pizza box. That's a song I couldn't remember how to play. Maybe the verse. Oh, man. Yeah. Far out. What was wrong with me? Why was I writing parts like this? All right, I'll try and find a version of this. Surely we have a live recording of it, because it has a Queensryche pre-chorus. Let's see. Oh, Lord help me. Let's see if I can remember this. I'll just see if I can remember the verse and the pre-chorus. I love that flub at the start of the solo, and then how silly it gets. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that. I mean, that was the one that was like the least finished. And yeah, we weren't ever really super happy with the lyrics. Music was cool, but yeah, it was a bit of a nothing burger kind of song. Letecro is a beast. Yeah, dude. I was listening to a lot of TNT probably around the time we wrote that song. So yeah, I mean, you can hear there we're all just like, how does this song go again? So I felt like that was the one that turned out the least good out of all of that. But fun to revisit. Very, very fun to revisit. What is going on? Where are you tuning in from? Alan? Thoughts on Ronnie Letecro? Yeah, Ronnie, that like, similar to the Gary Moore thing. Just a mad player. Like kind of Gary Moore meets Brian May. Those first couple of TNT albums are sick. From Pittsburgh. Well, welcome, Alan. Yeah, the Gaz. Dude, yeah. So, what's that Budgie song? Heavy Revolution? It's, yeah, Joel knows. Joel knows the true lore. The 75th anniversary telly, yes, I was playing a little earlier on the stream, and it's right here. Let's just put that on that stand and hope it doesn't fall. It's kind of like a covert hair metal guitar, because this bridge pickup is so good. Currently with 9s on it as well, and I like that you can connect the neck and bridge in series. Very fat. Yeah, it's a screamer, man. And it's got the cool like flip-flop finish thing going on, right? Bit of green, bit of red. Sports car Telecaster. Oh, it's a little bit out of tune. I have... Oh, just a bit sharp. Yeah, it stays in tune good. It's got 9s on it at the moment, so... yeah. Lets me do all the stupid stuff. Oh, man. There was a thing I was doing when I demoed this guitar like that. Doing that behind the nut bend thing. And I accidentally got a pinched harmonic with my... There. If I think about it, I can't do it. It's like my arm touching that. There. Delay will help. It's just doing what that... Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, man, I can't do it now, I'm thinking of it. Right there, it's hitting... It's not as cool when you just know what you're doing. Yeah, I don't know about Leo rolling in his grave. I mean, you know, he designed a bunch of stuff at Music Man and G&L. And, yeah, maybe... I'm sure in the 40s when he started his musical company, he didn't imagine that in the 2020s people would still care about the names. So, yeah. Yeah, very, very mean streets, right? Thank you for the super chat, Phil. What I would recommend, so are you using the fractal stuff? If so, for the early Thai sound, you know what works really well? There's a factory preset called Limelight. So it's doing the Lifeson thing. Here we go. And I think... actually... And then the clean sounds. Very, So yeah, the Limelight. I mean, you can slap pitch detune on a rectifier as well and it'll sound a bit dogman-y. So that would be my advice. Have I ever played a G&L? Yeah, several G&Ls. He's not on the stream at the moment, but my friend Michael Torin has a Rampage. Like a proper one like Jerry's. And that was cool. It was the neck profile is very different to what I expected. I'm kind of glad I played that because I was like, well, I love the way this looks. I'm not super into the way it felt. Just, I don't know. Not what I expected, put it that way. So, yeah. The Evertune in 4th tuning, that's kind of cool. Yeah, the guitar can definitely rush. Any Sykes? Of course. Of course. Mandatory Sykesness. I'll do it on this guitar. Let's go. All Sykes all the time. That's... Yes, there we go. Let me get my sound back. My big chungus. So, there we go. Man, that's not good. Let's try this. There you go. Just a bit of John to keep the stream going. Any thoughts on the Bacchus guitars? Really good. I toured the factory that they're made at when I went to Japan. Yeah, they're sick, man. The Baron is... I'm trying to think of the Duke is the Les Paul style one. Yeah, the Baron's like the Les Paul telly with humbuckers and Les Paul inlays. Yeah, the ones I've played are great. Really, really great. That factory also makes Momose guitars for the Japanese market. One of the best Strats I've ever played was one of those. And man, I'm kicking myself for not buying it at the price it was at that point. It was such a good guitar. Such a good guitar. Yeah, the Barons are... I'm just looking now. I might... Well, this isn't loading. Anyway, yes, for the money, really hard to beat. Their factory's awesome. Good people working there. Highly recommend. Really, I didn't realize that the pods had a King's X preset. I know the Sansamp, the Rack Sansamp had a King's X bass preset on it. Why you stop using Kempers? I have never really used the Kemper. I had one on loan that I made some profiles with years ago. I've never done a gig with one. The first digital thing I really used widely was the Axe FX Ultra. I've kind of been fractal centric since then. I mean, I have a Helix Stadium here and a Tonex and a Quad Cortex and lots of other things. I think they're all amazing. I don't know, Kemper they've done some weird things recently. I feel like they've kind of gone the Kodak way, where they did what they did was so groundbreaking in 2010, and they've had such a massive market share, but they haven't really done that much with it. And now the Kemper Mark II, and they're like, look, it's the same box with the same stuff, and we'll do profiling version 2, which I think has just sort of come out. But yeah, I think they've let a bunch of other companies, primarily Neural and IK Multimedia, eat their lunch. And yeah, not that the Kemper's a bad unit. I think it's an amazing unit and a very important piece of gear, but it's a shame that they sort of... And the whole, like, Kemper player where you've got to pay more for the upgrades, I think was a PR disaster. The days of locking things behind paywalls, it should be you buy the hardware, you get all the stuff. End of it. So yeah, they're kind of, I don't know, man. Like, look, Christoph, the Access Virus and the original Kemper Profiler are two of the most iconic pieces of music gear ever made. So if anyone can afford to rest on their laurels, it's them. But yeah, it's kind of a shame. I mean, if you can find one cheap, get it, because it's great. It's like a guitar head-shaped thing. The one with the power amp is awesome. Yeah, Kemper is lost. Yeah, they're in a weird spot. I don't know what they're doing at the moment. I can't see, if you wanted capturing and profiling, you'd get a Tonex or a Nano Cortex now and just use those. They're so small, they're so convenient. If you want something that's got all the effects in it, Line 6 has capturing. Like, capturing has just become ubiquitous now. So Fractal have stated their next gen thing will have the NAM captures. I mean, Kemper walked so the rest of us can run. That's kind of the vibe I get. But yeah, I feel like their hardware is a hard sell now. But still, good time to buy one used, because it's still great. Do you run a strap lock? Yeah, gotta have the strap locks. I just like them on all my guitars because it makes it easy to change the strap. But yeah, absolutely. Digital quality units. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, there's all my Kemper shades. Scott, hey bro. The cats are good. They're both sleeping at the moment. One is, can't quite, I think, in the bathroom or something like that, and the other one's in the bedroom. So yeah, the next one I'll drag him in. John, I appreciate your appreciation, bro. Yeah, it's not a bad gig to have. When I was in the States last year, the year before last, I was hanging out with my buddies, the two Michaels, Nielsen and Torin, and we went and hung out with Dave Friedman and went to his workshop and ran into Pete Thorne there. And I hadn't met Pete before, and Pete's as lovely off the camera as he is on camera. And I said to him, I was like, Pete, thank you for inventing my job. Because, he's the OG. Him, Brett Kingman, Andy, who was that guy? Gearman Dude, that pedal show. They're all the people who blazed the trail for what we call guitar content creators now. So yeah, I think as well, Pete being like such a great hard rock player, having those sounds and stuff like that, it was still watch his stuff because he's amazing. But I feel like he made it acceptable to be a rock pig, but still be able to do the professional demo thing. So Ola as well, of course. Anytime you see someone amp name metal, that's because Ola did it first. And yeah, I think Ola was it's underappreciated now because he's Ola. Everyone loves him, as they should. He's got a great personality. He's got the guitar company. He's absolutely leveled up in so many ways. But he was kind of the first guy doing really high quality, properly mic'd demos of high gain amps as like a public service. You can go back and watch his old videos from that long ago and they still stand up, they sound amazing. His playing's incredible. And if anyone deserves the fame and fortune, he does, because I feel like those videos were such a good public service where you could go like, oh, what does a famous Cobra sound like in drop C? Oh my God, there's this dude doing it. Cool. So yeah, and he's turned into Does It Chug, and yeah, like I love it. I love it. It's an example of the good that the internet can sometimes deliver. So yeah. So here's the thing with the Kemper, right? And this is a really interesting point of discussion where the Kemper isn't super accurate, like, say, Neural Amp Modeler or some of the modern, like Tone X, the latest quad cortex captures. They're definitely more accurate and they measure closer to the real amp. But the inaccuracies in the Kemper, you know, the mid-range honk and things like that, they're very musical and they work well on electric guitar, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, hey, maybe it shaved off a bit of low end, maybe it added a bit of mid-range, maybe that works better for guitar sounds. So yeah, there's accuracy isn't everything. It's at the end of the day, it's got to sound good. Yeah, oh man, Phil X. Yeah, Phil's another absolute OG goat. Those old, what was the music store he used to do videos for? I distinctly remember watching one where he was playing a Firebird, and I think he played some Molly Hatchet on. I was like, oh my God, this dude plays Molly Hatchet and he's playing and singing. Like, who is he? What a maniac. So, no, it's bro. I'm here to hang. I'm here to chat. Like, it's very, very interesting. The cool thing about the Kemper stuff as well is the unintended consequence of it was people sharing commercial profiles. That didn't exist, and now everybody does it. I do it. I capture my amps, and you know they're up on my Gum Road store for $5-10 or whatever it is. Fretted Americana, Joel knows. Yeah, just I have a genre of YouTube video I call Hall of Fame guitar YouTube videos, and there's a bunch of them out there. My buddy, the other John Brown, did one with the Celestion V30s, and I was like, instant Hall of Fame video. John Simons did a video recently, I think, comparing a bunch of speakers, and that's like instant Hall of Fame video because you can just keep going back to them time and time again. They look great, they sound great, and you're like, oh yeah, what was that thing about, you know, what does a vintage 30 versus a creamback sound like? Yeah, so cool. So cool. All right, what else should Yeah, Leon reacts to guitar videos from 16 years ago. I'd have to react to my own. Yeah, Kyle does some good stuff, man. I appreciate his aesthetic of like, it's a guitar, a boost pedal, an amp, an SM57. What you see is what you get. Just chunk. Yeah. I think myself and Ola are similar in that respect, where it's like, when it's really good, you know, because it's the instant like... yeah, JJN, man. What a dude. I feel like JJN would be a nice guy to hang out with, and that he almost definitely likes wrestling. So imagine just going to a bar with him and sinking some hot wings and watching some sport would be amazing. Do you use different IRs with your stadium presets? No, they are the same. It's the same free IR for like everything. You get my Tone X packs, you get those. It's, yeah, I have the one thing that makes me sound like, yeah, Johan's good. Johan really, man, some of the sounds he gets where you're just like, oh, like Johan is Paul Kossoff reincarnated. That's what I think. Like the stuff where he's got the room mics and the old Marshalls and the things he plays and like his time feel and groove. And I really like the stuff where, you know, he'll play some drums and some bass on it as well. So, you don't have 10,000 IRs? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jacob DeRaps is, I mean, between him and Jim Gorstead, it's like, there's Eddie. There's all the things about Eddie. My buddy from Perth, Josh Gallagher, actually plays drums for Jacob, and I think recorded and produced his albums. So that's a fun, you know, we have that mutual friend in common. Josh is a great drummer and singer as well. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'd like to hang out with Jacob one day. I feel like, again, he'd be a bro. Was demoing an amp modeler a while ago. Tell by the look in his face, it sounded off. He played it well. Yeah. Hey man, it's, you know, sometimes you have to weigh up, is it 100% ultimate stank face? No. But is it like $80? Well, I can live with that, you know. If it's $1,800 and it's not quite happening, then yeah, that's a different thing. So, yeah, I think the IR is such a big thing of, you know, it's the final filter, so to speak. So it helps me find my tonal center of gravity. Oh yeah, bro. Metalocalypse, of course. Of course. Such a great. I was watching The Sopranos recently, and in like the last season, I think AJ's in the psych ward, and Metalocalypse is on, the Duncan Hills coffee commercial. Yeah, Thunder Horse, so good. I would love to come to Canada, man. I can't believe I've never done it. Canadians and Australians are so similar. You guys are just snow Australians and we're desert Canadians. So, Capture X Plus, very cool. I like that load shaper feature in it. Obviously, one thing with the captors is the load looks like a bathtub rather than the sort of thing it should look like for a load with an inductor. But yeah, I think that way of getting around it is pretty cool. If you has the goods guitars and the goods amps and you still sucks, problems is yous. Yeah, man, Switzka, so good.
We're gonna play a gig in the most brutal place on earth, the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, the lean titles on the Fractal presets. I don't... If you mean Leon, then yes, but I'm not aware of the lean ones, so... Yes. They're me, correct. The lean ones are maybe for enjoying some Houston hip-hop or something like that. So, what was the other thing? Degrees of Stank Face, Metalocalypse, Heart Alone solo. It's like a B flat. And then it's... What is it? Yeah, I have played that live a bunch of times, and I can't remember the solo for the life of me. So, in Petrucci VHS. Yeah, man, I had Rock Discipline, and it sucked. No offense to John, because I love his playing, but that's like the most boring video ever. The exercises on it are great. But it was like going to the dentist, because it's just like, here's every considerable permutation and every picking pattern. I was like, John, I love your playing, but I am never going to do all of these things, and I'm just going to stick to intense rock and be a sloppy rock pig. So yeah, I had not as disappointing as the Marty Friedman exotic metal guitar, where Marty's just so stoned out of his mind, like his eyes are in two different directions, and he's like, so we're gonna do everything with a clean tone. Like Marty, you know, these guys are incredible players, but yeah, maybe whatever was going on when they did the VHS tapes was just... I remember, oh my God, I got paid $60 in 2005 for Marty Friedman exotic metal guitar. I'm going to learn all the tricks. And it's kind of like hanging out with your mate's stoned older brother. But yeah, Rock Discipline, man, I don't know. I appreciate that John took the time to do it. But in terms of recommending it to anybody, I can't. I would recommend like another 20 different ones before I did that. So I'm trying to think of other terrible ones. The Mick Taylor hot licks. I remember being like, oh, this will be cool. I'll learn some cool blues licks. And he just kind of didn't want to be there. And Arlen Roth is awesome on it. And Arlen kind of makes the video. But I was like, oh, I should have just bought Arlen's videos. So... Modes, no more mystery. Or as a friend of mine called it, modes, a lot more mystery. I like Chop Builder though, having said that, because Chop Builder's like rock discipline, but at least it's cheesy and it's fun. You know, and he's like, and now let the ladies take it. It's just like, because what does it do? He's like, we're going to do picking. What does he do? Yeah, there we go. We're on Chop Builder, exercise 1. The Eric Johnson one I kind of liked. Total Electric Guitar I thought was really good because he offers the best piece of advice and the thing I needed to hear when I was 15, which was just take your favorite parts of your favorite players and incorporate them, and then you'll have your own sound. Where he's like, I like Keith Richards and I like Wes Montgomery and I like Eric Clapton and John McLaughlin. I just put those things together and that's me. So yeah. But I haven't seen Art of Guitar. Am I getting them the right way around? Total Electric Guitar starts off with where he's just in the TV studio, right? Art of Guitar maybe isn't the one I'm thinking of. Yes, Joe Walsh. I mean, look, it's awesome because like an hour with Joe Walsh, you know? Yeah, actually, the Tony Iommi one he didn't want to be there, did he? It's kind of funny, right? I feel like in 20 years, we're going to look back at all these people's like Instagram accounts and be like, oh yeah, that was terrible. I mean, people look at my Instagram now and be like, that's terrible. But yeah, those VHS were just so hard to get here, man. The Malmsteen one has to take the cake though, because there's a lot of good licks in it, but also they're like, hi, welcome to the video. I'm Yngwie Malmsteen. Jay Malmsteen, by the way. And you're like, yes, Yngwie, because we're going to confuse you with all the other Yngwie Malmsteens out there. We needed the J. And the fact that it's like cut, they obviously didn't get enough footage, so they've got to put the voiceover with some of the live at Leningrad footage where they're like, Yngwie Malmsteen is one of the world's leading proponents of neoclassical guitar, and here is him doing a fly kick dressed up like a 16th century pirate while running around in the Soviet Union. Now, Yngwie, play us a chord. And he's like, here's something with a lot of chords. It's like so bad it's good though. But yes, Scott, exactly. You can see what he's doing. So while he's not instructing, you can see how he does stuff. And the purple coat, yeah. So it is like, it's at that like self-parody level of hilarious. So they're like, this is the fingering I use on a diminish arpeggio. And now slow. And they're like the wrist shake with the bangles before everything. It's yeah. Yeah, man. It's and the frill. Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like it's just like softcore Malmsteen, right? Yeah. I mean, Malmsteen is, the world would be more dull without Yngwie's in it, right? He's like the last guitar diva. If you play with him, you're not allowed to breathe the same air as him. But yeah. Yes, Tommy, look, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm friends with Tommy, but I have spoken to Tommy on the phone a few times, and Troy and I interviewed him, and man, that guy is the best. Like if aliens came to Earth and they're like, you have one chance to impress us, just send him Tommy Emmanuel and an acoustic guitar, and it will be a beautiful thing. Yeah, this neck pickup, man, it's kind of again, it's a covert 80s guitar. There it is. Yeah. Far out. Oh my God. No. That's the worst version of that you'll hear. Have I played with Ingve? Yeah, we supported him on his Australian tour. Great shows. Yeah, I mean, playing to like 1,000 people every night isn't something we do that often with Ragdoll. Going out to a room full of guitar players, it's actually the least stressful gig ever because, hey, they're all there to see Ingve. No matter what you do, you're not going to impress anyone as much as Ingve. So we just went out and played our songs and had a mad time and got to meet a lot of people who follow this channel because, again, like all the guitar players came out. And yeah, that was pretty wild. I'll write a book about it one day and tell you all. So, Anya Scott, thanks, man. I'm definitely going to... Well, I'm home for an extended period now, so I'll try and do one of these. I would want to say weekly, at least once a fortnight. They're great, great fun. Yeah, well, Gary Moore was a pretty great guitar player who never used his pinky, so there's always a counterexample. Did you play one of his Ferrari Strats? Look, I'll just put it this way, whereas, like, we did not breathe the same air as Malmsteen. That was the vibe for the tour, so... Yeah. Yeah, Tommy and Matteo, man. Yes, that's the thing I like about Tommy. It's just he's there. He's got all the talent. He's got the CV. He's been doing it for a million years, and he's just so pure with the way he enjoys music. He's like, I'm here to have the most fun. That's all. And I feel like that we should definitely take that attitude into everything we do. Yeah, Skolnick was great on Handful of Rain. There's some good songs on there. It's very underrated songs. Cog, love a bit of Cog. Yeah, man. Bird of Feather, dude. That is foundational Aussie modern prog. Yeah, look, I don't want to sit here and just rag on a guitar god, but yeah, we'll leave that for another time. So, yeah, thanks, dudes. I'm gonna bounce. You guys have been awesome. This was a really, really good live hang. We will do more. Thank you to everybody who left a super chat. Thank you to everybody who weighed in with some fun stuff. And yeah. Are high fuel prices affecting your ability to gig and tour? Not yet, but the crisis is young, and we will see what will happen. So maybe I'll just end up doing this for the rest of the year, like I did in COVID. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, it kind of sucks for everyone, doesn't it? So all right. Yes, Mark remembers. Mark remembers. That was a night. That was a night. Thanks, dudes. Thank you, Alex. Sad Wings, Kaboom, everybody else. Love you guys. Take it easy. I'll see you very soon. Peace.